6 months ago, you told yourself this was going to be the year you finally got your money right. So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself right now. Where is your money? Because here's what nobody on your timeline is telling you. Right now, in mid-2026, the gap between people who are quietly building wealth and people who are silently falling behind is getting wider by the month. And if you haven't stopped to check in on your finances since January, you might already be on the wrong side of that gap. But here's the good news, and stay with me. Because this is important, you are exactly where you need to be right now. Because the next 10 minutes, they could genuinely change the trajectory of your financial life. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. I'm going to walk you through a complete mid-year financial review for 2026. 6 critical checkpoints. Real talk, no fluff. Let's get into it. Let's start with the one thing most people set in January and never look at again, your budget. If your budget is like your gym membership paid for, full of good intentions, and completely forgotten by February, you are not alone. But we're fixing that today. Here's the hard truth. Inflation didn't take a vacation in 2026. Groceries, rent, gas, subscriptions you forgot you signed up for, they've all crept up. Which means the budget you made in January, it's probably already outdated. And an outdated budget isn't a safety net, it's a blindfold. So here's your first assignment for this review. Pull up your last 90 days of bank and credit card statements, right now, or after this video, but today. What you're looking for is what I call the 3 leaks. Leak 1. Subscriptions you've been meaning to cancel. Netflix, Hulu, that meditation app you opened twice added up. You'll be shocked. Leak 2. Just this once spending that became just every week spending. Dining out, DoorDash, impulse buys, they're sneaky. Leak 3. Price creep. Things you're still paying the old price for, even though the cost went up and you never renegotiated. Together, these 3 leaks are costing the average American in their 20s between $300 and $600 a month. Money that could be building your future, just gone. Now that we know where money is escaping, let's talk about where it's supposed to be going and whether it actually got there. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You said you'd save more this year. January was solid. February, pretty good. March got weird. And by April, life just happened. Here's why this matters more than almost anything else in your financial life right now. Your savings rate, the percentage of your income you actually save, is the single greatest predictor of long-term wealth. Not your salary, not your investment picks, your savings rate. The benchmark you want to be hitting in your 20s and early 30s? At least 20% of your take-home pay. That breaks down like this. 10% for short-term goals in your emergency fund, which, by the way, should be 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account, not a regular one, and another 10% minimum going toward long-term wealth building. Now, are you actually doing that? Or are you doing what I call aspirational saving, which is saving whatever's left over at the end of the month, which is usually nothing? Here's the system shift that changes everything. Pay yourself first. The moment your paycheck hits, before rent, before food, before anything, automate a transfer to your savings. Treat it like a bill you cannot miss. Because you can't. If you're not at 20% yet, don't panic. Start at 5, then 10, then 15. The behavior matters more than the number on day 1. But saving money in a low-yield account in 2026 is only half the battle. Because there's a silent killer eating your wealth that most people in their 20s completely ignore, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Debt. The word that makes people either numb or nauseous. But here's the mindset shift I want you to walk away with today. Not all debt is the enemy. High-interest debt is the enemy. If you're carrying a balance on a credit card with a 24% APR, which is the national average right now, you are mathematically guaranteed to lose money every single month you don't pay it off. That's not an opinion. That's arithmetic. And arithmetic doesn't care about your feelings. Your credit card company, on the other hand, loves your feelings, especially the ones that say, "I'll deal with it next month." Here's your mid-year debt audit. 3 quick steps. Step 1. List every single debt you have. Student loans, car loans, credit cards. I owe my cousin $50, all of it. Step 2. Sort them by interest rate, highest to lowest. That list is now your target list. Step 3. Attack the top of that list aggressively while making minimum payments on everything else. This is called the debt avalanche, and over the course of a year, it saves you significantly more money than any other payoff strategy. Now, for lower interest debt like federal student loans or a mortgage, this is where the mindset shifts. Sometimes the smarter move isn't to aggressively pay it down. Sometimes it's to let it breathe while you put your extra money to work for you in investments. Which brings us to the topic that people either obsess over or completely avoid, and both approaches are equally dangerous. We're talking about investing. Let me paint you a picture. 2 people, both 25 years old, both making the same income. Person A invests costs $300 a month starting today. Person B waits until they're 35 to start. By the time they're both 65, Person A has over $800,000. Person B has less than $350,000. Same money, same return rate. The only difference? A decade of time. This is compound interest, and in 2026, you have access to tools and accounts that previous generations would have dreamed about. So I'm going to ask you directly, do you have money in a 401k, a Roth IRA, or an index fund right now? If the answer is no, that's the most expensive mistake you might be making, because every month you wait is a month of compounding you'll never get back. Here's your mid-year investment checklist. First, if your employer offers a 401k match, you are contributing at least enough to get the full match, right? If not, you are leaving free money on the table. Literally free. No other investment gives you an instant 50 to 100% return. Second, are you maxing your Roth IRA? In 2026, the limit is $7,000. If you can't hit that, start with whatever you can. The Roth is arguably the most powerful wealth building tool available to people in your tax bracket. You invest after-tax dollars now and everything grows completely tax-free. Third, check your asset allocation. With market volatility in 2026, your portfolio should reflect your risk tolerance and your timeline, not your emotions. Now, here's something most financial videos won't tell you. Building wealth isn't just about saving and investing. There's a third lever most young people never pull, and when they finally do, everything accelerates. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, this is the checkpoint nobody puts in their financial review videos, and it might be the most important one. We spend so much time talking about cutting expenses that we forget about the other side of the equation, growing income. Think about it this way. There's a ceiling on how much you can cut. You can only reduce your spending to zero. But your income? There is no ceiling. None. The upside is theoretically unlimited, and in the digital economy of 2026, the barriers to earning more have never been lower in human history. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you asked for a raise? If you have to think about it, it's been too long. Studies show that employees who negotiate their salary at review time earn an average of 1 to 2% more per year than those who don't. Over a career, that compounds to hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference. Here are 3 income moves worth making before the end of 2026. Move 1, negotiate. Your company is not going to volunteer to pay you more. That conversation is your responsibility. Research market rates for your role using platforms like Glassdoor or LinkedIn Salary Insights. Know your number, then ask for it. Move 2, monetize a skill. In 2026, there is someone out there willing to pay for something you already know how to do. Freelancing, consulting, content creation, tutoring, a single side income stream generating even $500 extra a month adds $6,000 to your financial picture every year. Move 3, invest in your earning power. A certification, a course, a skill upgrade. The return on investment from making yourself more valuable is often higher than any stock you could buy. You've audited your budget, your savings, your debt, your investments, and your income. But there's one final piece, and it's the one that protects everything else you've built. Don't skip this. You can do everything right, budget perfectly, save diligently, invest wisely, and one unexpected event can wipe it all out in an instant. A medical emergency, a job loss, a lawsuit, a car accident. This is the part of personal finance that nobody finds exciting, but everybody finds catastrophic when they've ignored it. Your mid-year protection checklist has 3 non-negotiables. Non-negotiable 1, emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of living expenses, liquid, in a high-yield savings account. Not invested, not tied up, accessible. If you don't have this, every financial plan you make is built on sand. Non-negotiable 2, insurance. Health insurance, renters or homeowners insurance. And if people depend on your income, life insurance. In your 20s, term life insurance is shockingly affordable. We're talking $20 to $30 a month for significant coverage. It's not morbid, it's responsible. Non-negotiable 3, a basic estate plan. You're 25 and you don't think you need a will. But a simple will, a beneficiary designation on your accounts, and a healthcare proxy costs almost nothing to set up and protects the people you love. Think of your financial protection not as spending money, but as ensuring your wealth-building engine. You wouldn't drive a Ferrari with no insurance. Don't build wealth without protecting it either. Alright, let's bring it home. You just ran a complete mid-year financial review. 6 checkpoints. Real strategies. No excuses. Here's the thing about the midpoint of a year that most people miss. It's not a report card, it's a pivot point. The next 6 months of 2026 are wide open. And the people who take action today, not Monday, not next month, today, are the ones who are going to look back on this year as the year everything changed. Your wealth is not an accident. It's a decision, made over and over, in small moments, when nobody is watching. You watched this video. That means something. Now do something with it. Start with one checkpoint, one action, one step forward, right now. And hey, if your wallet just watched this video and broke into a cold sweat, that's actually a really healthy sign. It means it's paying attention. Pun fully intended. Now, since we're talking about making the next 6 months count, you're going to want to watch this next. I put together a full breakdown of the smartest summer money saving tips for 2026, real, actionable ways to cut costs without cutting your quality of life this summer. It's right there on your screen. Click it. Watch it. Your future self will thank you. I'll see you in the next one.